Field Observation Notes, recorded by Pearl Stowers, The Anthropologist. Date, May 25th, 2026. Location, somewhere among the stars. Subject, the human condition during the age of division. Over the last decade, people across the world have become exhausted. Not only politically exhausted, emotionally exhausted. Families are divided. Communities are fractured. Trust is collapsing. Truth is becoming harder to recognize. Every day feels louder. More outrage, more confusion, more fear. And somewhere beneath all of the noise, many ordinary people have begun asking the same question. What is actually happening? This presentation is not about choosing a political side. It is not about worshiping politicians, and it is not about spreading fear. This is an observation, an attempt to step outside the noise and examine the systems underneath it. Because before humanity can solve a problem, it must first learn how to see it clearly. So, tonight, let us slow down, observe carefully, question honestly, and examine the machine. When most people think about politics, they imagine elections, presidents, parties, debates, campaigns. But modern society is much larger than elected officials alone. Behind every government exists an enormous web of systems. Money systems, media systems, corporate systems, military systems, technology systems, information systems. And each one influences the others. This does not mean one secret villain controls everything. Real life is more complicated than that. The machine is not one person. It is a network of incentives, a structure that rewards power, profit, attention, fear, and division. Politicians become trapped inside it. Media companies profit from emotional outrage. Corporations influence policy through money and lobbying. Algorithms amplify conflict because conflict generates engagement. And ordinary people become overwhelmed by constant noise. This creates a dangerous cycle. The public becomes angry, the government becomes reactive, the media becomes theatrical. And trust slowly collapses between the people and the institutions meant to serve them. So citizens begin turning on each other. Left versus right, red versus blue, liberal versus conservative. But while the public fights horizontally, power often continues moving vertically. Quietly, systematically. And this is why so many people feel disconnected from modern governments. Not because every leader is evil, but because systems can become so large that they stop hearing the people clearly. And when trust disappears, society becomes vulnerable to manipulation, fear, tribalism, and extremism. The solution is not blind loyalty, and it is not blind rage. The solution is clarity. Citizens who verify information, question narratives, reject emotional manipulation, and refuse to dehumanize one another. Because healthy societies cannot survive if their people are permanently divided against themselves. And perhaps the first step toward repairing the future is learning to see the machine clearly enough so that we stop becoming fuel for it. Field observation complete. These notes are not final answers. They are observations, questions, patterns, warnings, and reminders. Because history has shown us something important. Civilizations do not collapse only from enemies outside. Sometimes they collapse because people inside stop listening to one another. Truth becomes tribal. Humanity becomes secondary to ideology. And outrage replaces wisdom. But none of this is permanent. Systems created by humans can also be changed by humans. Not through hatred, not through panic, but through clarity, through discipline, through critical thinking, through compassion, and through the courage to remain human inside systems designed to exhaust humanity. So, wherever you stand politically, slow down, think carefully, verify information, refuse manipulation, and remember, most ordinary people want the same things: safety, purpose, dignity, a future worth handing to their children. The machine grows strongest when people forget each other, but awareness breaks cycles. And truth, when pursued honestly, still matters. This has been Pearl Stowers, the Anthropologist, May 25th, 2026. Field observation complete.